Hey guys, we are back with more content on all channels thanks to our new intern David. David, come quickly in front of the camera. This is David from
Hey guys.
from Austria, coming from straight from Vienna to Germany.
All right.
Frankfurt area, and
Right.
my business partner Tobi is
Right.
here. He usually works from Berlin
That's right.
because he loves Berlin and the vibe, right? And he's here at the moment, so we thought we answer a couple of your business-related questions. Obviously, business and music and whatever.
They somehow get together, but it's a business
music-
in a financial perspective.
Music
or,
starts as a hobby for most people. So when
yeah.
you start making music, you don't think about business.
and you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe like with 10% of your mind, but don't let your
But
creativity kill
when there comes a point and you know that music is what you do and you don't want to do anything else, you have to start thinking about business.
Yes, you do. I'm afraid.
And I'm
yes.
sure there's people in music business who never thought about music. They just, whoa, let's make money with this
They
stuff.
they were like, what's the ROI of a track? Maybe I
Yep.
don't know, which
Yep.
is a sad but okay point of view. Yeah.
Let's not judge it.
No. Well.
With that, let's bring on the first question, and David's going to read it to you. On Instagram, you might be able to see it. This is a little experiment. David, here you go.
So the first question is, what is the most important thing when I'm creating an image for a musician?
Mm-hmm. An image.
An image.
First thought, be consistent over all channels. And by that I mean like choose a style of music, stick to it, which brings you to like maybe a conflict that, maybe it infringes you as well. So there might be a little tension, but basically be consistent with your style, tone of voice, tone of music, visuals, the music. Yeah, I said music already, but yeah, be consistent with what you convey.
My take is a little different. I say you can do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure it's real. You feel comfortable with it,
It's you, right?
and then social media like crazy, and we have this thing floating around in our minds: 100 pieces of content a day. Which sounds a bit crazy, but a piece of content can be a tweet, can be a quick thank you, a quick hello. So I think our time is offering a great opportunity in that you can just go live on Facebook and Instagram and talk to everybody. I think there's a big chance in let the camera roll when you create that song. Let the people share with the people why you're. What are you thinking while you're creating the song? Because nobody has really captured the moment when you start thinking about the song, that impulse. Because in the old record industry, people used to sit for weeks, months, years, and then you would only hear about the record when it's in the stores, and then there was the big boom, the video, the press conference, the everything, and now we can let the audience be part of it from the beginning.
Can I hear the question one more time, please?
Sure. What is the most important thing when I'm creating an image for a musician?
Like as a synthesis from your perspective and mine, creating an image. Marc says like just be you. So creating an image always sounds like you have to be a different persona or an artist persona.
You know what? I think starting with the word image, the word is not relevant anymore, because for me it's an old school marketing word where marketing people said, we can't possibly we can't show the complexity of a person, so we have to
boil it down to like a boy band. You have the usual Yeah, the sporty, like the Spice Girls in the end, right?
We don't have that limit anymore, because when you create your, when you reach fans, you can now.
You better be the way you are, better be yourself, and having said that, you got to know yourself. So, like, in return, like, what do you need to do in order to create an image, right? Know yourself.
I think the what we used to call image can be a lot more complex now that we have more airtime when we use the channels that are out there.
So not being afraid of actually like documenting everything you do and just being you.
And then you can be a contradiction as well.
This is what I was saying.
And
like,
this could be interesting.
Don't feel infringed by the image, because it can be a prison in itself. Because like, all right, I don't know, like, be it, let me drop that one, be it must a Depeche Mode fan wear black all the time? Of course he does not, right? So just be, you can be yourself, and don't let, like, don't think there might be any infringement in any form simply because you feel people might think that way or this way works better with your image. So skip the image idea. Skip the image idea.
I mean, I can think of artists who are established in a certain genre of music. I recently had a conversation with somebody I admire a lot. I don't want to mention the name here, but we were talking about this and social media and showing the contradiction and the whole complexity of your personality. It can be, when you've been in a certain scene for 20 years, it can be a bit confusing for the fans.
Right. They want you.
They want you in a certain way.
Yes.
And so...
But this is like, once you have achieved like being in that scene for 20 years, right? And because like those people fell in love with you or the image you gave them, right? But then again, being honest about yourself and that you, like, a human has various like shades,
I think this
right?
this goes into the question, when you're known for a certain style of music, and all of a sudden, or many musicians have
a side project.
Then you could do a side project. I personally think that it's always good to work from your personal brand, and then show the people that you're complex within your personality. But I can also see that when you developed a certain brand, that you
don't want to wash it down, right?
You want to stick to it.
Yeah.
And maybe this audience grew with you, and they only know you in a certain way. So I don't want to put any rules on this, but I think we gave
no rules, but just maybe like guidelines. If you're just starting out, don't worry, just be you. As a guideline.
Today, for artists that start new, I often see it as a big problem if they put themselves in a certain Schublade, as we say in German. If you're in a certain in a narrow niche, and you say, I want to be only the whatever dark deep house DJ who's doing only this certain type of thing, you're limiting yourself, I believe.
Yeah. Don't let like the idea of image limit yourself.
I also see
that's the thing.
The audience changed a lot when in the 80s, when I went to school and I grew up. Every person would connect themselves with a certain music genre. You would define, there was the heavy metal guys, there was the poppers, there was the hip hop guys. The first wave for starting, and you would identify yourself with a narrow field of music. I don't see that anymore. I think in their Spotify playlists, people have such a broad spectrum of music today because we're in a different world now.
So you have more access.
So hopefully, let us know if this provides some value and if we help to answer the question. If not,
just reach out again, please.
Reach out again, DM, or we will do a lot more of these Q&A. On to the next question.
Next question. We just got one in live, so...
That's nice.
Cool.
Thanks.
How to make a living from music without playing live? Is it even possible?
Yes, I do it.
There we go.
But you're a DJ. For a DJ, it's cool to be able to go out there, and you do gigs, and that's a part of how you make your living, right?
That is right, and you can't avoid it. But maybe from is it like from a producer perspective?
No, a simple answer. I think
yes, but
no, you need a product. You need a product, and as a DJ, your product can be the live. The guy you can book live is the product.
Exactly, which would be a contradiction because that live is not an option here. So maybe DJing, or maybe imagine a new way of DJing. But then would be like just providing tracks or sets online, putting them on SoundCloud, making money with that, or on.
I mean, I think it's very difficult to make. For the majority of people watching, it's very impossible to make decent money from streaming.
Yes, ideally, yeah.
So I would think of yourself as a product. So
like you said, a product. So you also see yourself. You could like identify like, okay, I see myself as a product that can be as a service that you can provide, right?
Let me go into more detail. When you provide a product. Let's say you're a DJ and you're what's it called? You do Hochzeits DJ.
A wedding DJ.
Wedding DJ.
Yes.
Yeah. I think when a wedding couple wants to book a wedding DJ, and if you're only a wedding DJ, you're in a difficult place because there will be lots of wedding DJs. And basically, from what I know about weddings, the crowd, they just want a DJ where they can go and ask for a song, and the DJ will play the song.
It's more like a human jukebox.
If you're in the wedding DJ human jukebox business, you're in a dangerous place because price is a factor.
Indeed.
Because people don't care whether it's DJ 1, 2, 3 or 4. They mainly want to make sure that the guy is friendly.
Exactly, makes grandma dance as well as
and he has all the music in his box that people can go and ask for. So I think when the problem here is that as a wedding DJ, people hire you just for a service and not for you being a brand. Because then we go into, what's the super famous DJ, mainstream?
David Guetta.
Yeah, if my daughter marries one day and she says, Dad, I couldn't afford David Guetta unfortunately, but let's say I'm super rich and my daughter says, Dad, I want David Guetta to be the DJ. Then David Guetta is in a really good place.
Because it's David Guetta.
It's David Guetta, and on this particular date, there will be lots of offers for him to do the DJing.
Right.
So he because of his brand, because he's David Guetta, and my daughter was asking for David Guetta on her wedding and not just some wedding DJ.
Yeah.
And that's and you don't have to become David Guetta, but you have to become a brand. And then people will ask, I want that DJ because I love his song, I love his something. And so I think to be able to make money with music, you have to build your brand. And that's the same for us, for the services we do here, for the books, the products. People think about mixing, mastering services around it, and they're like, oh, this Marc Mozart guy, I want to see how expensive he is. Maybe he can do this, or I want to learn about mixing. I heard of the book of the Marc Mozart guy, and we get hired by companies as well to help them build products, build education programs. There's lots of stuff we do, and the reason why we can do it and the reason why we get paid is we built that brand, and people associate the Marc Mozart brand with certain services around.
Promises like what you will get for that money, although it might be not the cheapest service available. One more thing about the niche. I think for a start, it's not bad to focus in musically, focusing on a niche, because Yeah, is it a niche? Yeah, because like if it's just like another DJ, what's your, let's put it that way, USP? What makes you unique? Why should people come to you? Okay, we have the brand topic, which takes a time to develop, but maybe you have a very how do you put this? Distinguished taste in music. Maybe it is.
Well, I can give you a simple example.
Right, but what I'm saying is like then become a wedding DJ with that taste in music, and this, you know, like friends will, it's word to mouth to mouth, word to mouth.
Yeah.
This is how to start developing things. And then you can still, like we said in the question before, you can open up. Don't be narrow-minded.
So I think the reason why being in a certain niche works so well, because it's, again, through the internet, it's so easy to address people that are interested in a niche. Like on Instagram, you just add a certain hashtag.
Right.
And I can give you an example. We were just the other day talking about this. Many people know I'm a fan of Schalke 04, the football club. They are a big football club. And you probably don't know it, but everybody who likes Schalke 04 knows that there is a couple musicians, like a rapper called Mütze, and
no, I didn't know that.
And he's a rapper who mainly raps about Schalke 04.
All right.
So if he would come to me, I would probably help him mix his song, because hey, we're club buddies, and if if
so it's the common ground you share, right?
The common ground, right. And if somebody on his wedding wants a hip hop act, and both the couple are Schalke fans, they would say, hey, let's ask Mütze if he can do a hip hop show on our wedding. So you wouldn't normally think about, hey, I'm a rapper and my USP is I'm a Schalke fan.
Oh, that's very
You wouldn't think about it, but
it's a gut feeling.
It can be little things. Can be little things. It's like another example. Meech, he's not in front of the camera. He's in the back of the camera. We were growing up in the same neighborhood. So he came in here and he said, I'm from blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't know Langgöns. There's a little village where I grew up. And he came in and it was like, hey, he's my brother from the get.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. All right. Yeah.
So
just next door.
Sometimes it's little things.
It's tiny bits and pieces, maybe emotional, obviously emotional elements that that help you guide along.
Like, and I get a lot of people who buy my services and book are fans from this club, and even we have a big rivalry with Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, I know
and
that
I even get a lot of Borussia Dortmund fans.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey, I respect this guy. He likes this shit club, but I respect him. He stands for the shit he likes.
All right.
You know?
But bottom line, yes, you can make a living off music without playing live by becoming a brand, period.
Have a bit of patience, I would say, because it doesn't...
become a brand easy.
Work the shit out of social media and then have a bit of patience.
Right.
Sorry.
And maybe at the beginning you want to have a side job, a day job that doesn't consume all your mental energy for being creative, right? And make sure your costs are low. It's
a big goal. Very good tips, but it's a big goal. You know, you ask to do for a living what you like most, and you can't snap your fingers and have dreams fulfilled. The world doesn't work like this.
No, it's proper work.
It has to be really tough.
And then you might encounter the strange feeling of what you once loved becomes work, and then
you don't like it anymore. And you realize, I like music more like a hobby.
Yeah.
And I
enjoy listening.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, we got a question kind of related to
what
that's cool,
we were just talking about.
I thought everybody left the left the channel.
No, we still got, how to deal with being stressed and unmotivated while having a lot to do.
What Gary Vee?
Sorry, okay, let me just repeat that. So someone is in the process of what we've just been discussing, and he or she is stressed and lacks motivation. First of all, that is normal, and
Like you just said, when you turn your hobby into your job, it becomes your job, and there's
there will be challenges you weren't like.
you're not loving it all day long, but what you can love is making progress in.
Just be aware of like that. There will be setbacks, and philosophically speaking, maybe it's just like a step back so you can jump higher. Very philosophically, but
Keep going.
Keep going, but also take it maybe 1 or 2 days off. Like step back and look at things from a distant point of view. I think that's another.
Everything, once it becomes a job,
Have a break from time to
like
time.
little example, when you make music as a hobby and then you start a company to make your music, then you have to go to all kinds of authorities, and who loves that? Nobody loves that.
No, and I think authorities are equally unpopular in any country, be it Germany, be it the United States,
they steal your time, they
all
take
over
a
Europe.
lot, they cost money, and nobody likes it, but in the end.
Yet, always give love for the people who work there, because like if you respect them and show some gratitude for their services, everything's gonna be smooth. But on the other hand, maybe, like if you're stressed because you've turned your hobby into a job, music in that case, you will face things you may not be yet capable of doing. But then again, you learn it. Isn't that wonderful? Like you go to bed smarter than you woke up. That's the thing.
Well, if you keep being unlucky while doing the thing you do, maybe it's not the right thing. Maybe you don't love it.
And that is, like accepting.
Maybe you loved the idea of being a rich hip hop producer with gold chains and
that's such a stereotype.
And the Lamborghini and all the things. Maybe you thought about, hey, I like the girls and the Lamborghini and the gold chains but
I don't like the way getting there.
The Marc Mozart hat and all of this stuff. But I don't really like making hip hop beats.
But like, I just want to make sure we got like the essence of the question. Like, what do you do in order to regain motivation?
You have to perspective is what you're saying.
Perspective, step back, talk to your friends about it, find like-minded people. I mean, it's an evolution thing. Like, when you start out, you might be highly motivated and then you get your first setbacks. Find people, talk with them about it, and then focus. Find like declare like really say, okay, now I will like find 2 to 3 hours in a row to really focus on that work after I had some distance. This would be my first aid kit.
Also, I think everybody can have some dark moments sometimes.
Oh yes, please turn that into a track. Or your bright moments as well.
You have to overcome it somehow.
Yeah, it's willpower.
But I know these moments, you're working on a mix and all of a sudden you're not. But I think you should find out why that happens.
Is it because other
the music
people
you work
pull
on,
you down?
or
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Right. And
I think it can be a sign for something when you have to find out.
Exactly. And you just have to be honest to yourself. Like, what is the reason for? Why do I feel like this now? And you have to be honest. And sometimes you can cheat on yourself mentally in so many ways. You really have to focus.
It can be the outside pressure.
Yeah.
It can be a tight deadline. What else can it be? It can be having.
Could be everything, but be honest. Could be anything, but be honest to yourself what it is, and then face it, and don't go like, I can't actually be honest to myself, because then you just
find out what it is.
You just treat...
Maybe you feel bad because your mother much rather likes you to do something else.
Find the mute button, respect, love your mom and love your parents, and they most likely help you to get that far, but then again, you're a grown-up person now, just respect and do your own thing. Right?
I think that's a lot of input.
Sure, Mama.
Next question.
Next question is how to get clients as a newly founded business.
In general?
Just in general.
Work for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a business, you always have the aim to actually make money.
Oh, well, then don't spend money.
But for a start, provide a free service, like a fraction of what you might be able to, fulfill with the entire service you offer. But give free samples.
But a lot of people give free stuff, and it's not as efficient anymore as it used to be. Like, give me your email and then you get a free ebook. Doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work as well as it used to be. So general advice is what we are doing here: build a media company around the topic you like and talk about it, and then
stay motivated to connect with the other question. But then again, the question was like, how do I find clients, right?
Clients, yeah.
How do I find clients? Well, put yourself into the perspective. What core service will you deliver? Why are you the answer to your client's problem? Why? Answer this and then find people who have the same problem. Nobody will come to you and ask for your service unless you solve a problem for them.
You can, of course, just hit people up one by one. Hey, do you like...
Oh, yeah, be very...
Do you like on Instagram DM, hey, I see that you do such and such, and I think you could need a guitar player, or you could need a mixer, or you could need the mastering guy.
Well, that sounds like your mix sucks. But then again, but it's just a wording thing. But right.
Yeah, and then see what the reaction is.
Be proactive, be swift, be service focused, right? Deliver a benefit. Ask yourself, how would I like to be treated in that process? And
and then you hit people up and they say, yeah, I like a guitar player, but I don't have money to pay one.
Well, then maybe...
They were back to the brand thing again. They don't want a guitar player, but if you're David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, somebody will want your brand attached. Or if you're, let's say, Santana, and somebody likes the idea of having Santana, but then you need to build a brand.
Which is a long run
It's
thing.
a long journey.
But in the short run, was ist fleißig nochmal?
Work hard.
Work hard. Work hard. Stand, whenever there are setbacks, breathe and try again. And eventually you will find the first client. If you didn't work hard enough.
Make sure while you work hard, the camera shows what you're doing.
Exactly.
Social media.
Build your brand. And if you don't find the very first client, you did not work hard enough. Easy. And of course, that very first one will not pay what you expect. I don't know, what you get, maybe you have an average wage per hour in your head. That won't be the desired number at the very beginning. You have to work because there's competition, right? There are competitors. And then again, brand is the answer. But you have to start swift, work hard, and give benefit and love to your clients. This is what I would say.
Content. Put out content because you can do it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you don't have.
You can mobile and
you can just put the phone in a stand and just show the people what you're doing.
Right.
You can always do this.
And
even when you practice guitar, you can
and expect to be judged. And it's so easy to be judged because and people judge so easily. This is what I was saying. But just accept it. Always don't even think about why people give you negative feedback, unless it's really constructive feedback. Maybe you should don't put the entire hand on all the strings, but stand things.
Let me think about. So let's say you play guitar, and you want to make this a job.
You play a ukulele right now, a tiny guitar.
Okay, let's go through some scenarios. Let's say I'm a great guitar player, and I play wonderfully guitar. So I play, camera on me, people watch, and they're like, "Oh wow, you're so great." Eventually, one day somebody will say, hey, I love it. Let's do a track together, or let's do this. Do you want to play on my tour? This will happen. Yeah?
You just have to do it.
does it happen? You're a guitar player. You put.
Come on, David.
Yeah.
Or
Speak
like-
in.
Yes.
It happens. Yes.
Thank you.
So now
David.
the other scenario. Your guitar playing sucks. You're like. Vroom, 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 vroom. People are like. They will still watch you. That's the funny thing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, "Ah, look how he sucks. Now.
Go to Berlin Mauer Park and
Now I
yeah.
have seen these cases where I was like, oh, hey, listen how her singing sucks, and it's almost funny, but you still watch it because it's on there. People watch it, and then you keep following, and then the next song, and the next song, and the
you
next song,
track
and the next
progress,
song,
right?
and people are like, hey, she used to, I couldn't listen to her, but I still did, and now it's, or the guitar playing, hey,
Has improved.
it has improved, and probably some people who also suck at singing or guitar playing will identify, they will say, hey, he sucks just like I, and he's on Instagram, and he has 50,000 followers, but his guitar playing sucks, and I suck.
And I want to suck publicly
I suck
on
and
Instagram too.
And I suck,
Right.
and nobody follows me, and then all of a sudden, I think it,
Hopefully the guitar playing improves over time, but yes.
and maybe you become the guitar comedian.
Eventually, yes.
Or you become really good.
But don't don't let yourself like
If it keeps sucking and you don't make any progress and it doesn't entertain, then maybe you don't have the talent, and you should not be a guitar player.
then it's a lot of indicators that it's not your cup
That
of
could
tea.
also be the case. But I think just because you're very early in your progress shouldn't hold you back from being on social media, because people like a story. And when the moment you started, just an example, we all watch YouTube every now and then, and we see a channel of a big YouTuber, 6 million followers, 4 million. Go into the video tab and select the 2 oldest video first.
Right.
Watch the video and then draw your conclusions. And every big YouTuber once sucked. That's my experience. And yeah, when I watch
It's a great liberty to know, it gives you freedom to know that you can fail.
And then-
just really fail a lot.
When I watch Gary
That's the
Vee's
thing.
first video, I think like, the video quality really sucks and the audio really sucks. But you know what?
It has improved.
The guy, yeah, but he always had the message. And you could, from the first video where 2 people were watching, you knew, hey, the guy has something, and you know exactly why he got where he is. And
Yeah.
others, they...
Wait a moment. Plus, he can now give a reference to this proves his concept. He goes watch my first video.
he always says, I started at 0 followers, like everybody.
Right. So
Yes. And when nobody watches and everybody thinks you don't have a message and you suck, then that's the feedback you get. And then what I see in a lot of YouTube channels when I watch this first video is, they tried different things. They tried to find out what's catching on with the audience. So a lot of practicing, trying a lot of things, and eventually they had their moment. They had this one song, this one joke, this one message where they saw, hey, now, and Gary Vee had this moment where I heard the story where he got 1 million followers in a matter of a few days, because he had this thing where he said, I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. If you hate Monday mornings, you have a problem, something like that. And he got through to many people.
See, he became like an idol for all those people who were like, I'm afraid of Monday morning. And he was like,
yeah,
bring it on, right? So just another thing of like how you as a brand can be like a lighthouse. Is it? No, a beacon lighthouse. Anyway, like an idol for the other people, right? Just another thing.
Next.
And one last very businessy question. Can I use my private money to invest in my startup and make expenses without foreseeable ROI?
What?
I mean, look
Is
at
it private money?
look at
Go ahead.
all the big Silicon Valley startups. They they go to the stock market and still don't make money. None of them makes any money.
Can I have the question again? 'Cause
If he can, the question was, when you start a business,
I got that.
can you put your private money into it and write the investment off as a business expense? And yes, of course you can. Absolutely.
No matter where the money comes from, if you spend the money, you have to start somewhere. Either you take the money from outside, or you have it from the inside, if you will, like your own money. You spend the money no matter where it comes from.
And the good thing is,
off it goes.
The good thing is, in most territories, I don't want to speak for every territory, in most territories, you don't pay tax before you make the money back that you invested.
Don't know that one, but
in general, you could say that. So if you have expenses, you know, the whole internet economy works like this. All these companies don't make a profit in the beginning.
Of course not. Yes, right. Well, of course not. It's a question of health, like, you know, grandpa's and ma's pop-up store. I was about to say pop-up store, but hardware store. I mean, like, how did he start? Most likely with a hammer and a nail, right? And then you sell. But just hang on there. It's just like that initial material you work with, no matter where it comes from, you have to start somewhere. And the more money you get from the outside, the crazier your ideas can get and the way you can spend it. So I would be a bit more like conservative, but that's just...
Yes, I think we live in a time where a lot of people...
Money is cheap, dig this. Money is cheap nowadays. Money is cheap.
Yeah, a lot of people want to invest in the next Facebook, Google or whatever. So it's relatively easy to get funding for a business idea. But then the problem is, I mean, this guy was talking about his own money. So that's a different situation.
Right. So
because the problem is when you can get funding and it's fairly easy. But the problem is when you accept funding from the outside, it's not your own company anymore. That's the problem.
Right,
and you don't have a say anymore. In the opposite, you have to explain everything to the people that fund your business, and then it becomes no fun anymore because it's not yours and you're not free. It sucks. So I would recommend, especially for starting as a musician, you start out as a small business. In all the cases, start to make profit very early because you have to live. You have some expenses.
Well, of course.
Keep them low. Don't spend it all.
Keep the expenses low, right?
Don't go fancy with your lifestyle in the beginning, and later
keep driving the bus, right? Everything.
Correct.
Don't get your Mercedes or your BMW.
Correct.
And what I was saying is, make sure that you grow organically. Maybe it's the wrong word, but just grow in a healthy way. Like, you don't just start a company by hiring 10 people because this is what a company does. Just really make sure what do you need, and then grow it. It might grow more, like a bit slower than any of those startup companies, but their growth is...
But what's interesting is you have your last job, you have a background with a company that grew extremely fast with outside money, and it worked really well. It's probably not the thing for a musician.
No, I would not say that. No, not at all.
But a lot of people, when you start a business, say, hey, you get funding from outside and you can grow really fast. But the problem I see there is it's not your business then anymore.
It's not your business. You have to really like keep an eye on how things grow. In that case, if you only have your own money, you might want to like, maybe there is public funding. Maybe friends will borrow money if you need more.
What do you need funding for? That's the question. Why do you need funding? But maybe you want to go more into detail.
At least maybe for a table and a decent computer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we have covered lots of aspects from this question. Cool. If you need more,
just drop us a line.
Let us know.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hope this helped. We will do it again. And
see you soon.
Let's do more business here.
Yep.
All right.
Schaffen.
Bye.